friends, Miss Kristi here, and I am so excited to be together again cooking in the kitchen. Today we are learning how to make chocolate peanut butter pretzel sticks. This tasty treat uses just 3 ingredients and it's no bake. We just pop it into our refrigerator for 30 minutes to harden up and we end up with a tasty treat for ourselves. We're gonna have fun making this together today, and I'm so glad you're here. Now, the first step to cooking and working in the kitchen is to wash our hands. While I wash my hands with soap and warm water for at least 20 seconds, let's go over the ingredients and supplies that you'll need to gather to cook along today. The ingredients you'll need are 6 pretzel sticks or 3 pretzel rods, 2 tablespoons of chocolate chips, and 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. The supplies you'll need are a plate, liquid measuring cup, 1 tablespoon, a spoon, and a small piece of parchment paper. Okay, great. Your hands are clean and my hands are clean. We've gathered our ingredients and supplies, so let's get started making our chocolate peanut butter pretzel sticks. This is just a fun treat. It's super simple to make and it's no bake. We just pop it in our fridge to harden up and then we've made these pretzels for ourselves. So the first thing we're going to do is grab your plate and your parchment paper. So just a small piece of parchment paper today. Sometimes it's optional. Today it's gonna help to make sure that your pretzels don't stick to the plate when we pop them in the refrigerator. So I do highly recommend just a small piece that fits over your plate, and you're gonna just put that right in front of you. So you've got your plate that we had in the supply list, you have your parchment paper that we're just going to set right on top, and then grab your pretzel sticks. So this recipe calls for 6 pretzel sticks, or maybe if you're using the longer pretzel rods, you would use about 3. And all I'm going to do is set these on my plate because we're gonna dunk them, but I want them to be ready to dunk because our chocolate cools pretty quickly and I want the chocolate to be nice and melted by the time we put the pretzels into it. So I just wanna have this ready. So all I did was take my 6 pretzel sticks or your 3 rods and just lay that on your plate, and then you can just move that to the side so they're ready to go once our chocolate is melted. Now you can grab your measuring cup, your liquid measuring cup. The only thing we're gonna use this for today is to melt our chocolate into, because it has a handle, so I don't have to touch the cup when it's hot. And I know this can go in the microwave, which is why I like to melt a lot of things in my liquid measuring cup. So place that right in front of you, and then grab your 1 tablespoon. It's the only one like this that we're using today. It says 1 TBSP. So grab your tablespoon and then grab your chocolate chips. And we need 2 tablespoons of chocolate chips that we're gonna put right into our liquid measuring cup. So I'm gonna scoop out 1 tablespoon and 2 tablespoons. Keep this, we're gonna use this next. You can put your chocolate chips to the side. Now grab your peanut butter. Now if you can't have peanut butter, maybe you like almond butter, maybe you like sun butter, any type of like nut butter that you can use and that you like, you could use in this recipe. I'm just using peanut butter because it's a classic chocolate peanut butter combination. And I'm going to measure out 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. You can do a big tablespoon, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just gonna melt this all together and put that right into your chocolate chip mixture here. Get as much out as possible. And then you can put your tablespoon to the side. We are done measuring that, and you can put any extra peanut butter you have to the side. And now we're actually just going to melt this. So I want you to grab your spoon, because we're gonna head over to the microwave and we're gonna melt this for 30 seconds, stir it, and then we're gonna put it in for another 30 seconds, and then we're ready to dunk our pretzels. So it goes in for a total, but we're gonna do 2 30 seconds and stir in between. So let's put it in for the first 30 seconds. All right, the first 30 seconds is done. So all I'm gonna do is take it out with the handle. It shouldn't be too hot. It was only in there for 30 seconds, but we're gonna give it a stir with our spoon. We don't want the chocolate to start sticking to the bottom too much, but it's not really melted. You'll be able to see it as you start to stir it. It melts a little bit, but there's still some chocolate chips in there. So we need to put this in for 1 more 30 seconds. Try to get as much chocolate back in there. Sorry if it's loud. All right. So we gave it a little stir. We're gonna put this back in for 30 more seconds, and then we'll bring it back to our workspace and dunk our pretzel sticks. All right, friends, the second 30 seconds is just done. I took it out of the microwave. I've grabbed the handle because the cup is now a little bit warm, and I'm gonna give it a final stir to make sure all of my chocolate chips are melted. It's turned this creamy brown color with the peanut butter in there, and now we're ready to just dunk our pretzel sticks. This is such a simple, tasty treat, but it tastes really good. So you can put your spoon aside. We are done with that. And all I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna tilt this a little bit, which is also helpful that it's got the handle from the liquid measuring cup. I'm just going to tilt it a little bit and then take a pretzel stick and dunk and kind of twist and then set it right back on my plate. Now, if you had pretzel rods, you could pour it over there a little bit longer if you chose to use the pretzel rods, but these pretzel sticks are pretty good size, where we're just gonna dunk half of it, and then we're gonna carefully lay it on our plate. Now, if you do this and you end up with extra chocolate, by all means, grab a couple more pretzel sticks and dunk away. You could use the little, like, traditional pretzel shape. It doesn't have to be a stick. This is just easier to dunk in the chocolate, but you could always use a spoon and dunk it in, or just pour them over some regular pretzels. Anytime you melt chocolate and peanut butter, it's a good flavor combination that you can put on top of pretzels because it gives a good crunch. I just think this is a fun treat. Okay, last one. And like I said, for me, there's a little bit of chocolate left, so I might pull out a couple more pretzel sticks and do some more. But 6 is like a good size for yourself if you're just gonna have this little snack. But if you have more chocolate like I do, by all means, like I said, grab some more pretzel sticks and dunk away. All right, before I put these in the refrigerator for 30 minutes, that's how long they'll go in there to harden up to make that chocolate a little hard. If you have pretzels, if you have any like nuts, like I have pecans here, anything that you think you could sprinkle on top that would be a little bit tasty, now is the time you could do that. Completely optional. You don't have to add anything else. But I'm just gonna take a couple pecans here that I have, and because our chocolate is still hot and melty, these will stick, and it just adds a little bit of extra crunch. So I'll just do 3. Like I said, this part is completely optional. Sprinkles on here would be really tasty. Just gives it a bit extra crunch. So how simple was that? All they need to now go is in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. I'm gonna set my little timer, pop these in, and as soon as the timer goes off, we will take them out and we'll give them a try. All right, here they go. Okay friends, this is exciting. My 30-minute timer went off and all I did was take my plate out of the refrigerator. The plate's a little bit cold, but you can see now that they've hardened up and they come right off the parchment paper, which is why the parchment paper is helpful. If you had them just on the plate, they would stick a little bit, but they would still taste good when you pried them off. But here we have it. We have our chocolate peanut butter pretzel sticks. So we had those 3 ingredients. We dunked our pretzels, popped them in the refrigerator, and now we have this great tasty little snack that we have made for ourselves. Now, if you don't eat all 6 at once, you can put them in a baggie or a Ziploc baggie or a Tupperware container with a lid. Pop them back in the refrigerator and then pull them out when you're ready to have a snack. If you put them in the pantry or the cupboard, that chocolate and peanut butter is going to start to melt a little bit, so they're best to be stored in the refrigerator. But they taste good. They've got that crunch. They've got the peanut butter and chocolate taste, which is a classic combination. So I do hope you try and make this simple treat, or try and make it again, and when you do, let me know how it goes. Leave me a comment, let me know if you have any questions. You can even send me a picture of how your chocolate peanut butter pretzel sticks turned out. I'd love to get to see your creation. Maybe you sprinkled something else on top, and then we can maybe share it next week. Speaking of next week, on next week's episode, which is episode 75, we are learning how to make simple air fryer broccoli. This small snack, or maybe side dish to a meal, uses just 3 main ingredients, and it cooks in our air fryer for only 10 minutes. In order to cook along and make our simple air fryer broccoli, these are the ingredients that you'll need to have in your kitchen for next week. 1 12-ounce package of fresh broccoli, 1 tablespoon of butter, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of pepper. Well, friends, our time together today is almost over. I do hope you've enjoyed learning how to make our chocolate peanut butter pretzel sticks. I know I had fun, and I already can't wait to cook together again next time. But before you say goodbye to this episode, make sure to click subscribe if you haven't already. You just have to click the little picture of me in the corner. That way you don't miss next week's episode. It'll be out on Friday, and I'll see you then. Bye, friends. It's time to eat.